Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough, and we're going to begin laying down for today's practice. Just having a blanket handy will be great. So we're going to fold that into a long, narrow support underneath the hip across the mat. And I really like this extra support under the top of the femur bones or underneath the hip socket. So you can tuck the ends of the blanket under again so that you're comfortable in Baddha Konasana. If for some reason that just feels too strong, put your legs in neutral. So feet hip width parallel, legs parallel. Finding that wonderful helper, the floor, bringing your spine into alignment. So back of the head, shoulder blades, back of the pelvis. And bringing your focus to your breathing. Try breathing more deeply. So really expanding the ribs, letting the air all the way out. And notice how it feels in your body to take that extra big breath. Enlivening as we let the hips relax and the body relax. Lovely. And then taking the blanket out, so bringing the knees together. And we're going to take the legs straight up and the arms straight up. Press your lower back into the floor and feel the core of the body engaging. And start to drop your arms and your legs away from center. And you don't have to go very far before you'll find the core of the body really engaged. And if you go too far too soon, then we start to be tense around the heart. So let's find that middle ground. Good. And then you're going to draw a circle, little circle with your legs and see if you can go in the opposite direction with your fingertips. I tend to just go at a different time in the same direction. And we keep trying to press the back into the floor. And then reverse both the circles. Nice work. Hug your knees in and take happy baby pose. So holding your feet or your ankles, then we'll take the knees out wide and really just relax your back. And take those deep breaths again. See if you can feel the belly expanding and contracting. Or expanding and relaxing. Shoulders relax, neck relax. Finding the satisfaction of the breath. And then we'll take the arms and legs up again and away from center again, pressing your lower back. Okay, and then from there, try to make your little circles with your feet, get them going in one direction. And then try to get your your fingertips going in the opposite direction. Pressing your lower back into the floor. And then the other direction. Nice work. And then happy baby pose again. Take the knees and the feet to the widest setting. Relax your back. Find that really satisfying breath, filling the belly and the ribs and the lungs. Start to give the legs a little stretch. So you can try just straightening one leg and then bending that one and straightening the other. And keep going from side to side. Great. And releasing. We're going to do one more for the front core of the body, or the core of the body. Press your lower back into the floor. Feet are off the floor. Hold your knees, and your knees are over your hips. Your shins are parallel to the floor. Good. We're going to take the arms straight up now. So we're going to do left leg out straight and right arm towards the floor overhead. And again, you don't have to go all the way to the floor, or you just go as far from center as you can really feel the core of your body working without tensing around the heart. So we try to isolate the work that's going on here into the lower front core, pressing the back. Finding the satisfaction of the breath. Nice work. And just hug your knees in. Rock a little from side to side. Breathing deeply. Lovely work. We're going to roll over to the right side and come into an all fours position. Stretch your fingers out wide and press your fingerprints. And arching the spine up and down. That beautiful, simple movement of the cat stretch. Checking your elbows, that they're not over straight, so just a little bit bent. And we're toning the muscles in the upper arm, so pressing out a little there against the triceps. And feeling the movement of the spine all the way from the top to the bottom. Good, and then we're going to keep going with the forward movement, but we're going to take, the forward and back movement, we're going to take the hands further forward, and this time make it a wave-like movement rather than just up and down. So we're articulating between each bone of the spine, the shoulder joints, the elbow joints, the hip joints. There's an opposite direction. See if you can wave in that opposite direction now. Nice. We're going to come into forward Virasana. And take your knees just a little bit wider than you normally would. So both arms reaching forward. I'm just not doing that at the moment. Injury in my left shoulder. Mm. Finding that satisfying breath. Great. Bring both of your arms in now and lift up onto your hands. Their arms are straight. And we're going to stretch the left leg. So you're going to roll a bit over to the right side. Take your left leg straight out from your left hip and start to slide it along the floor. And you're on your heel. Good. And then we bring the hands forward. So you're up on straight arms, but you can take your hands out as far forward as feels good. Keep your hips level to the floor. It's a pretty good stretch right into the belly of that inner thigh muscle. And then you can make it deeper by taking the torso out and over the floor in front. So that might mean walking the hands further forward, or you can be onto your elbows, or even in your forward virasana position with both arms out in front. And we bring the bones of the spine forward. Nice work. And then releasing that side. So you support with both hands, lean over to your right, tuck the left leg in. And then we lean over to the left and slide the right leg out. So the right leg goes straight out from your hip. You're onto your heel. Good. And the left knee is out to the left. And then you figure out where you're going to bring your hands to bring your hips as level to the floor as you can. Good, and you can start to walk the hands further forward. Maybe you can even reach to be comfortably on your elbows or else straight arms. Good, and we're relaxing the bones of the spine forward. And always there, that opportunity to connect to the breath. Even when we're doing something challenging. You might even be able to take your arms forward into your forward virasana. Nice work. And then releasing. And you're going to bend in your right leg. Nice. Now, take a kneeling position if kneeling is doable for your knees. And if it's not, sit up onto your blanket and put your legs out in front. A kneeling position is made easier with some height underneath your sit bones. So I'm going to fold my blanket into the shape of a yoga block. Yoga blocks are very useful for sitting on. You can stack 2 or 3 long ways across your hips. But we'll just use the blanket. Now, if there's any pain in your knees, please don't do it. So just sit with your legs out in front. Well, here we are in Virasana, hero pose, and we'll try and keep the heels tucked in underneath the hips and the feet parallel. So that means the toes are not doing their natural turn in. But we get a really nice even stretch across the ankles. And lengthening the torso, relaxing the shoulders. And finding that satisfying breath. How satisfying it is to be able to sit in your tall spine or with your tall spine and your relaxed neck and shoulders. Great. Now, some people are going to be able to stretch further the quadriceps, and you can add to that stretch by taking that arm back behind you. So you lean back a little and press the knees down. And you'll feel that stronger stretch in the front of the thigh. And you might be able to lay down onto your elbows. I'm not going to do that today. And if you didn't have the blanket underneath your hip bone and you're able to go back further, you can lay back onto the floor. Obviously, you don't do any of those movements if they hurt. But here we're just stretching feet and quadriceps. Beautiful. And then releasing. We're going to take the blanket out and come back into your all fours position. Stretch your fingers out wide. And this time, take the left ribs left and then the right ribs right. So we're going to wave the spine from side to side, or bend the spine from side to side. Good. When the hands are your foundation, it's always a good opportunity to really stretch the fingers straight and press the fingerprints. Keeping straight fingers. Yes. All right, we're going to lift up into downward facing dog pose. So tuck your toes under. Actually, on the way there, and if you've already lifted up, come back so your knees are just hovering off the floor. It's a really nice version, a modified version of the plank pose. We're lifting the core of the body. Good, and then downward facing dog pose. Lifting kneecaps, quadriceps, sit bones. And then walking your feet. Now, take your time and take really little steps. Really little steps, and try to get your feet moving. And then when you run out of room, you're going to roll up. And then we're going to come to the front of the mat and standing into Tadasana, mountain pose. Finding that satisfying breath. Good. Bend the knees and hinge forward your torso at the hips and put your hands up on your thighs for a little bit of extra support. Lift the front core of the body and feel that it is supporting your spine. So there's no discomfort in bending forward. And we're going to make a circle with the top of the head as you were drawing on a chalkboard out in front. So the torso is traveling and following the head. Good, and you can make the circle small or you can make the circle big, and you start to notice there's a little bit of stretch starts to happen in the top of the hamstrings. Good, let's go in the other direction. But the whole while, the core of your body is stabilizing to support the spine. Oh. Very nice. Good. And then we're going to bend the knees, come back to center and roll yourself up. Take your arms out. You might be able to take your arms out to the side. I'm going to do the front movement. I can do that one. We're going to look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Beautiful. And then Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Arms up, hands in Namaste. And then that halfway Uttanasana again. Good. We're really using the core body, feeling the spine to be supported. Legs are parallel, feet are parallel. Okay, let's do the circles again. We don't have the hands on the legs, but if you need to put them back there, then put them back. Again, the circles can be small or large. Do what feels nourishing in your body, exploring that movement. Oh, the stabilizing effect of the core body for the spine. and then the other direction. So obviously don't do it if it feels like you're straining your back in any way. You can just come back to upright and make a circle from the upright position. Great. And then we're going to hold in the center. Put your hands on your legs again. Ease the bones of your spine forward, looking forward. Good. And from here, we're going to really stabilize the core, lift the pelvic floor, and take the arms out to the side. My left arm won't lift, but try to lift your arms up to your shoulder height. And little circles with your arms. Good, and then releasing, and then we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to roll up. You can take your arms out to the side. Urdhva Hastasana, looking up, and hands in Namaste. Tadasana, satisfying breath. Nice work. Urdhva Hastasana and Uttanasana. And this time, try to keep your bones of the spine forward. And we're going to walk the hands down the legs as far as is practical. Some people can reach the floor. Some people have got their hands on their shins or thighs. All right, so feel along your back. Try to get your back bend shape rather than a hunchback shape. And even in your thoracic spine. Good, finding the breath. Nice deep breath. Okay, we're going to walk the hands over to the left side. So that might mean they just go around to the left of your left leg, or they might walk over to the left of your mat on the floor. But we want to really reach with the right arm so you feel that great big stretch in the right side of the body. Your neck is long. And we try not to swing the right hip forward, otherwise you don't really get your stretch. So keep reaching the right hip back. Finding the satisfying breath. Good, and then we're going to come back to the front. Nice. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the right side. So that might be holding the outside of your right leg or to the floor on the outside of the mat. And we're lengthening the left side of the body. Beautiful. And then coming back to center, bend your knees and inhale. And rolling up and arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And hands in Namaste. Tadasana. Nice work. We're going to take a stand now in the middle of the mat, facing the long edge of the mat. And let's see, step your feet out, not your leg length, but wider than your hip. Okay, we're going to turn the right foot out at 90 degrees so that it's parallel to the edges of your mat. We're going to be working on our balancing on that right leg. Now, if you know that you're going to be a little bit wobbly trying to take your left foot off the floor, then you could have a chair to hang on to. So grab that if you need it. Otherwise, there are other ways we can work. And you're going to be shifting your weight onto that right leg. And you can keep your left tip toes on the floor. So you step the left leg in and then find where you can support. So you can do it that way. You might not need the chair. And we're going to try each time we land on the right leg, whether your foot's off the floor or on the floor, to be lifting the left hip. So rather than looking down at the floor, we're lifting the left hip and we're trying to bring the front of the body looking to the side. And then when you land, try and land without falling back to the floor. And we're going to do this a few times. So you're going to take your time and you're going to be finding your balance each time. And as you find your balance, and that can be with the toes on the floor, with your hand on a chair, or foot off the floor, and hips over the standing leg. And we try to lift the left hip. Good. And when you land, you're going to bend the knee more, the right knee, so that you find the floor first and land. Nice work. And a couple more. Taking your time and finding your alignment. Staying tuned in to the satisfaction of the breath. It's very tempting just to fall back into position. It's good for balance to be able to do that. But let's try and really find where we're going to land. On your last one, let's see if we can add some arms. So we're going to balance again onto the right foot. Yep. Find where you're going to have your balance, either with your left tiptoes on the floor or lifting. And we're trying to lift the left hip. And then you could take your left arm straight up. I'm not going to be able to do that. And your right hand down onto your right thigh. Whoops. Falling back into position is always a nice option. Falling, landing safely. Good. Lifting the left shoulder. All right. And finding your last landing position on that side. And then swapping the feet over. Good. So now we're going to be balancing on the left foot, and the foot is parallel to the edges of the mat. And just noticing on this side, how's it going to go? You're going to keep your right tiptoes on the floor if you need to, or hold onto your chair if you need to. But what we want to do is bring the right hip back. Good. And when you reach back to be standing on both feet, try to reach for the floor. Nice. And keep going. Make sure it feels okay in your standing knee. So you want to keep really good alignment of the foot and the kneecap. So they're both looking out to the left. You can add your arms in if that's working for your body. Right arm up. Good. And the last one. Whoa. It's harder with the arms. Good. Turning back to the front. Bring the feet underneath the hips. Let's take a moment in Tadasana to find the breath. To feel the feet. Great. Bring your hands in front of your heart and jump or step or stamp your feet out to wider than your leg is long. Nice wide distance. Right foot is going to turn out at 90 degrees, and we're going to bend the right leg. Now, the torso naturally wants to head to the right. We're going to try to bring the torso back perpendicular to the floor. Hands at the heart and press them. Try to head your bent right knee to the little toe side of your mat. Really straighten your left leg. Lift the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen. Beautiful. And then your arms are going to go straight out from your shoulders. We're going to turn the whole torso to look to the left. The hips go as low as you're able to, but keep lifting the pelvic floor. Good. And then turn your head, just your head, to look over your right fingertips. Beautiful. And then we're going to come up. Nice work. Hands in front of your heart. Press them. Turn the feet to the second side. So it's a nice wide distance. Wider than your leg is long is what we're aiming for. Left foot parallel to the edges of your mat. And bend your left knee. As deeply as feels good. Lifting the core of the body. And see if we can bring the front of the hips to face the long edge of the mat, but the bent knee, left knee, reaches back to the little toe side of the foot. Great. And then we're going to take the arms out from the shoulders. You're going to turn your whole torso to look right, and then just your head to look left. And then releasing. Virabhadrasana. Turning the feet to the front. For Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn the toes in. Lift the kneecaps. Lift the quadriceps. We're going to take the hands and put them onto the back of the pelvis. So fingers facing down, palms pressing against the back of the pelvis. Make a little back bend. Ooh, lifting quadriceps, lifting sit bones, and then we're going to ease the body forward. Trying to feel your back bend shape. Take your torso as far forward as feels good. Press the outside edges of your feet. Lift the inner arches, the kneecaps, the quadriceps, the sit bones. And enjoying that satisfying breath. Good. And then we're going to release the hands and put them where it supports you, under your shoulders. You might even be moving the top of the head towards the floor, lining up with the feet. Ooh, keep the legs strong. Good. And then we're going to bend the knees here. Bend the knees, make your back bend shape, and walk your hands out as far out in front as they go. And then straightening one leg. And then the other. So the hips are moving from side to side. And you're finding your satisfying breath. Good. And then back to center, straight legs. Walk your hands in. Bend your knees if that feels good to roll up. Roll yourself up. You can take your arms up. And then bringing your hands into namaste in front of your heart. Press your hand. And we're going to wiggle the feet in. Beautiful. Now, pad your feet. And what you're going to do is just try to lift right up onto the ball of the foot. So you're getting your feet nice and flexible. Good. And then we're going to try and sit down without falling down. So you can use your hands or take as many movements as you need to. I need extra today. All right, and we'll sit up onto a blanket. Take the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Holding your knees, lifting your belly. Great. Now we're going to keep the left leg bent and take the right leg out. So Janushisasana, but with the leg out to the side. Ooh. Sitting tall. Take your hands over in the direction of your left leg. You can put them on your leg or the floor. We're going to turn the ribs in that direction. And we're going to follow the breath into that movement. Relax the right hip down. Turn the ribs. Good. Keep the turn of your rib. You're going to lean out over your left leg. And you can go as far as feels good in your body. You can take your arms out. And then we're going to start to walk the hands and the torso center. We keep forward. We keep the torso forward. As we start to turn towards the straight leg, the right leg now, the hamstring's going to start to impede our forward movement. So you're going to do that now. Start to walk your hands in the direction of your right leg and notice how the torso needs to lift. But we're going to keep bringing the bones of the spine forward. And you might be able to hold on to your right leg here, or some people can even reach the foot. Good. And we're going to start to lift the left rib now. Lift the left rib, looking up at the ceiling. And if your shoulder feels good, take your left arm over your left ear. Can't quite get there. Beautiful. And then we're going to come up. Nice. And bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. And then we're going to take the left leg out to straight, but instead of out the front, we're going to take it out to the side. And then we're going to turn, so start upright torso here, turning to the right side. And relax your left hip down. Following your breath. Reaching over your right leg. And then start to reach your torso and your arms to center. So you're taking that forward movement and you're noticing as you get closer and closer to your left leg, the tightness in the hamstrings starts to impede the movement of the spine. So we're going to start to lift the torso just as you need to keep the bones of your spine forward and reaching over towards your left leg. Great. And then rest your left hand somewhere on your leg or even holding your foot if you reach that far. And we're going to roll the right ribs back and the right shoulder back. Ooh. Take your right arm by your right ear if that feels good. And then releasing. Oh. Bringing both legs into simple cross-legged position. Find a relaxed seat where the spine is long and you can really tune into the movement of your ribs and your lungs. Feeling the satisfying breath. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.